Ryan Lilly once said that if you want to compete in this highly competitive world, you have to either build a product and sell it, or you have to be a product, start selling yourself. But remember, no one will pay you what you exactly want. They're gonna pay what they think you are worth. Go and change their thinking. Dear TMOE and my fellow products, tonight I have two interesting stories for you. My first story is about lobsters. How many of us loves eating lobsters? And what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word lobster?
Oh my God, taste.
Taste.
Red.
Red.
Luxury.
Luxury. Luxury.
Expensive.
Expensive, exactly. Lobsters are equivalent to expensive elite dish. But you know, back in the past, our lovely lobsters were not this fancy. Back in early 19th century, lobsters were treated as cockroaches of sea. They were so unwanted. They were so much in plenty that people used lobsters as fertilizers. They were often used to feed prisoners and apprentices just to save the money. But then by the mid of 19th century, something changed. There were two major developments. The first one was the canned product. Now the people living along the seaside start putting these lobsters in the can and sent to the center of the country. Now the people in the center of the country started consuming the cheap lobsters, and soon it became one of the most popular product in the market. And the second development was the cheap railway transportation. Back in the mid of 19th century, the railway transportation became very cheap. Now people who are living in the center of the country, they could travel all the way to seaside and have these lobsters. So with these two ideas, the demand for lobsters increased. And the restaurants, although the cost of lobsters were pretty less, but they still charge premium to put lobsters on our plate. So this is the story how train, travel, and canned product changed the game dynamics for lobster. It changed it from being a fertilizer to a gourmet treat. Now my second story is about Starbucks. What does Starbucks sell?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Experience.
Office.
Happiness.
Experience, happiness,
Bad coffee.
loyalty. Okay, I'll get back to this. Now back when Starbucks actually started their business, the ecosystem was not very fertile for them. Dunkin' Donuts were the biggest competitors. Now Dunkin' Donuts were offering cheaper as well as tastier coffee. Now Starbucks had no say. The marketing executives of Starbucks came to their boss and said, "Sir, we're losing the market share. We don't have anything. We have to cut down the prices." But the executive director, he decided not to cut down the prices. He made two important strategic changes. His first change was the use of superior quality coffee beans. Now, if you thought that Starbucks, which was already expensive, started using superior quality roasted coffee beans to make the coffee, you got it wrong. They used the superior quality roasted beans, but not to make the coffee, but to create strong fragrance in the store. They kept the superior quality roasted beans right open into their shops so that it creates a strong ambience, and as soon as customer enters, they feel a strong sense of fragrance. This single move changed the game dynamics of Starbucks. But then, there was one more change. A change which all of us can see now as well. What are the sizes, template of cups which Starbucks offered?
Small, medium, and large.
Exactly. Like any other ordinary shop, it does not offer small, medium, and large. It's tall, grand, and venti. This concept was adopted from an Italian cafe store. This concept is basically based on the fact that psychologically, when a customer is ordering a small coffee, he feels poor. He feels unhappy. So when Starbucks changed this, it changed the entire consumer experience as well. Starbucks did not slack down the price. They elevated the consumer experience. Now, what is the common thing in both these stories? Well, before that, Starbucks, I asked you that what does Starbucks sell, right? It sells coffee, and as the answer I got, it sells services. Starbucks basically sells services. Now, what is the common thing between both these points, the Lobsters and the Starbucks? What was the common thing between both these stories? Experience
And turning point.
and turning point.
Customer value,
Sorry?
Perception.
Perception.
customer satisfaction.
Customer satisfaction. I got all the answers I was looking for. So you got this story absolutely right. Yes. They focused on the consumer experience. The products remain the same, but they change how consumers think. Remember the Ryan Lilly quote. Just like Starbucks and Lobsters, we are products in our own life. But then who are our customers? Our customers are the people with whom we interact in our day-to-day life. Now what happened in Starbucks? People did not remember anything but the fragrance of the store. Just like that, people with whom we interact, they probably don't remember anything which we said, but they remember how they felt around us. They remember the feeling which we generated in their heart, and that feeling stays. So my dear fellow products, what kind of feelings are you generating in people with whom you interact with? Based on these feelings, you will be treated either as a fertilizer or as a gourmet treat. Based on these feelings, you will be treated either as a normal coffee or a Starbucks coffee. Let us focus on these consumers, the people who are around us. One consumer, one experience, one conversation at a time. Thank you.